it may turn out that this crash that happened in Washington, D.C. has some components in which the federal government would be implicated. We don't know enough yet, but can you tell us a little bit about what that means, where those cases would have to happen, and how that process plays out?
Sure. Well, the main impact will be the application of the Federal Tort Claims Act.
What is
or
that?
the FTCA. It is the only remedy against the United States for injury or death caused by the negligence of government employees. Before the FTCA was enacted in the middle of the last century, there was no remedy. The sovereign immunity was complete, right? The king can do no wrong.
You could not sue the government.
Could not sue the government. So the FTCA is a limited waiver of that immunity granted by Congress. And that's important because its requirements have to be very strictly followed. Okay. And so basically under the FTCA, the United States as an entity is responsible for injury or death caused by the negligence of federal government employees who are acting within the scope and course of their employment.
So that could be, I'm interrupting, but
it's good.
So that could be an air traffic controller, for instance.
Correct.
And that could be the military.
Correct.
For instance.
So active duty service members or reservists who are on active duty at the time, they are federal government employees. Any employee of a federal government or an executive agency is a government employee. So the FAA is a federal agency under the Department of Transportation. So yeah, the FTCA would cover U.S. Service members, the crew of the UH-60, and any of the air traffic controllers, and then all the way up to the top of the FAA in terms of institutional or organizational negligence.